A haunted forest, a cursed trail, and a relentless evil. Watch Ichiro as he uncovers a chilling truth that has claimed lives for decades. Will he survive the forest's darkest secret? Ichiro, an adventurer from Japan, had always been drawn to unsolved mysteries and peculiar occurrences. His latest discovery involved a chilling pattern. For the past 40 years, people who ventured into a certain part of a forest had either died or gone mad after being stung by bees. The incidents were confined to a specific trail, and Ichiro's curiosity compelled him to investigate, suspecting that there might be more to these events than mere coincidence. One misty morning, Ichiro set out into the forest, the air thick with the scent of pine and damp earth. As he approached the notorious trail, an eerie silence enveloped him, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves. Suddenly, a dark cloud of bees emerged, swarming around him with a menacing hum. Before he could react, they attacked, their stings searing his skin. Overwhelmed by pain, Ichiro collapsed, consciousness slipping away. In his unconscious state, Ichiro found himself trapped in a nightmarish loop. Ghostly figures with hollow eyes clawed at him, trying to drag him into the shadows. He heard a man's voice crying out in despair,
"Help me!"
and saw a headless body wandering around the forest, aimlessly searching for something. The terror was palpable, an unending cycle of horror. Abruptly, Ichiro awoke in a hospital bed, drenched in sweat. The doctor assured him it was all just a dream, but Ichiro couldn't shake the feeling that it was something more. Determined to uncover the truth, Ichiro delved into the history of the area. He discovered that 40 years ago, a decapitated body had been found in the forest, the victim of a notorious serial killer. Intrigued, Ichiro researched the victims of the bee attacks, uncovering a startling connection. All the victims were related to the murder case. Undeterred by his previous ordeal, Ichiro returned to the forest. As he reached the spot where he had been attacked, the bees reappeared, but this time they did not attack. Instead, they formed a swirling dark cloud, almost as if they were guiding him. He followed the ominous swarm deeper into the forest, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and determination. The bees led him to a blackened nest exuding a malevolent aura. Compelled by an unseen force, Ichiro approached, the whispers in his mind growing louder. As he touched the nest, he was plunged into another trance. This time, he witnessed the brutal murder of the man 40 years ago. He saw the killer, his face twisted in rage, hacking at the victim, whose screams echoed in Ichiro's ears. The killer severed the man's head, and without a second thought, dumped it deep into the woods, far from any trail. Ichiro watched in horror as the severed head lay on the forest floor, blood seeping into the soil. A single bee landed on the head, drawn by the scent of death. Soon more bees followed, attracted by the grief and torment emanating from the lifeless remains. Over time, the constant presence of the bees led to the creation of a nest built upon the sorrow and pain of the murdered soul. The nest grew darker and more ominous as the years passed, infused with the malevolent energy of the victim's unrest. Snapping out of the trance, Ichiro knew that the nest was made from the head. His heart raced as he slowly sank his fingers into the blackened structure. The nest was oddly warm and slightly pulsating, as if it were alive. With a deep breath, he applied pressure, feeling the brittle material crack under his touch. The nest gave way, revealing a hidden skull within its depths. A sudden gust of wind swept through the forest, carrying with it a chilling whisper that sent shivers down Ichiro's spine. The atmosphere grew colder, and the shadows seemed to deepen around him, amplifying his fear. His hands trembling, Ichiro picked up his phone and dialed the police. The gravity of his discovery weighed heavily on him as he reported what he had found. The authorities arrived and, upon verifying his findings, reopened the cold case. Following Ichiro's clues, they traced the evidence back to an elderly man now suffering from dementia in a nursing home. The old man, once a feared serial killer, was now a shadow of his former self, lost in a fog of forgotten memories. His surviving family members had all either died or gone mad, victims of the bees' stings. As Ichiro observed the frail old man, he noticed the way he frequently touched his own head, as if checking to see if it was still there. The once terrifying murderer was now reduced to a drooling, vacant figure, haunted by the ghosts of his past. The case was finally closed, but the forest remained a place of dark memories and whispered secrets. Ichiro, having faced the unknown and uncovered the truth, felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Yet he knew that some mysteries were better left unsolved, hidden in the shadows where they belonged.